Right, okay, so gaming room again, so Warhammer Wednesday, and this time it is 6th edition. The Empire are going to be defending a outlying hamlet from another Goblin attack, and this time it's not led by Skarsnik, that was the 5th edition one. So this is just a level 4 Goblin, wanting to be Skarsnik, and 150 plus Goblins taking on probably somewhere in the region of about 50 to 60 Empire. So we'll see how we're going to get on. We are heavily out magicked. I think the Goblin force is pulling out 12 casting dice to my 6. So I have to see whether gunpowder and arrows can beat the magic of the Goblin. So stay tuned and hope you enjoy. Slightly truncated battle report this one, so no dice rolls, just an overview of each turn. Just try something a little bit different. So yeah, do like and subscribe. Any comments, please do what you do down below, and we'll see you at the end for the debrief. Thank you. Okay, so we are back in Middenland, but this time it's some 6th edition action. We've got Orcs and Goblins, which is an entire Goblin force, led by Skarsnik, not Skarsnik, and they're up against the forces of the Empire. So we've got 10 Goblin Wolf Riders with bows, plenty of blocks of Goblin infantry with a catapult, more Goblin infantry. All of these are spears and shields. All of them have the obligatory fanatics. We have a Doom Diver, a Snotting Pump Wagon, 2 more blocks of 30 Night Goblins, and another block of Goblin Wolf Riders with bows. All of the Goblin units have 2 netters in the front as well and full command. On the Empire side, we have an Empire General on a War Griffin. The mortar's actually representing a cannon, as I thought I had more than one cannon, but I don't. We've got archers in the woods, got a proper cannon, detachment of crossbowmen linked to the great swords, who have full command. We then have a unit of spearmen with a level 2 bright wizard. And then over beyond the church, we have a unit of effectively Knights Panther or whatever they might be. We have a wizard with Law of Heavens, unit of 20 spearmen full command, and a unit of 10 handgunners. And that is battlefield. Empire got first turn, and this is an abbreviated battle report, so we'll show you at the end of each phase. Well, subject to it being relevant. Okay, so after a rather uneventful Empire turn 1, the cannon on the near side ended up wedged in the mud about 3 or 4 inches away from the unit and the pump wagon that was its target. The other cannon fired straight across the battlefield, hoping to take out a few of the Goblins and possibly the catapult, but unfortunately misfired and had a bit of wet powder there, so just no further effect. The archers in the woods moved forward and managed to kill 1 Goblin with arrows. Crossbows and handguns didn't move and subsequently were out of range. The bright wizard moved forward, cast a fireball which was dispelled, and the celestial wizard tried to cast Second Son of a Maul, which failed, and also tried to bring down the comet, but again that was scrolled. So on a roll of, what was it, 16, wasn't it? So end of Empire turn 1, and they've managed to kill about 2-3 points worth of Goblins. So Goblin turn 1. Okay, so end of Goblin turn 1, and a little bit more success for the Goblins. They managed to get off, most importantly, the Foot of Gork, which killed 5 spearmen, 4 great swords, and 4 Knights of the Realm. Or what else happened? Goblin Wolf Riders fired some shots into the spearmen, blocked with their spears. The catapult managed to kill 1 more great sword, and the Doom Diver got a couple of partials on the spearman unit with a bright wizard in. He got dragged out of the way, and unfortunately the Goblin just plummeted to his death. So end of turn 1 overall. Advantage Goblins, as they've killed up into the teens, but most importantly 5 Knights of the Realm were dead. Another one got killed by a brain burster, I think. So heavily outplayed on magic, so we're going to have to see what we can do. Okay, so Empire turn 2, not a good turn for the Empire again. Tell you why. So the 5 knights that were remaining felt that their only real option was to charge the pump wagon, as he was going to charge them next turn clearly. Hoping to release fanatics, the Goblin player released them through the pump wagon, but it managed to survive the fanatics, only for the fanatics then do 11 hits on the 5 knights, doing 10 wounds, killing them twice over. Here the blue wizard moved up and forced the release of the fanatics here from this unit. Obviously they're just all in a little conga line. I think a 3, 4 and a 5 were rolled. The handgunners, with their first shot of the game, managed to take down 5 of the Goblin Wolf Riders. However, they managed to pass their leadership check on a 6. What else happened? Managed to shoot some of the Night Goblins, hoping to try and pop one of the units and force a bit of panic to go through the army. However, that didn't work, only managing to kill 7 with 2 cannonballs and archers and crossbowmen. So yeah, another ineffective Empire turn. Back over to the Goblins, and we need some miscasts and some misfires. So over to Goblin turn 2. Okay, so good turn for the Goblins again. Magic yet again devastated. Almost all the fanatics seem to be released with little to no effect, although 4 spearmen did fall to a rampant fanatic. The big thing was the magic phase, which saw the spearman unit with the bright wizard reduced down to only 6 men, and the great swords down to 8, through a mixture of magic, well mainly magic, and a catapult getting a couple as well. Other than that, one handgunner got shot by the Wolf Riders, and the other Wolf Riders over in the far top right hand corner managed to get a wound on the Empire General, failed to kill him, or do any damage, sorry. Back into Empire turn. Okay, so we've just entered into, or the end of Empire turn 3. What happened? So, cannon and a volley from the archers and crossbowmen managed to put a panic check on the unit here, but they managed to pass it. The great swords made light work of the pump wagon, overran into the flank of the Goblin unit, however clipping the fanatic on the way in, but only for the loss of 1 guy. The handgunners, the spearmen made a charge attempt onto the Goblin Wolf Riders, who decided that fleeing was probably their best choice, so off they fled. Battle Wizard left the unit just for a bit of safety, as that one was getting constantly targeted. The Empire General went to the back of the Goblin General's unit, managed to dish out quite a lot of wounds, although not personally, but the Griffin did, and they failed their check, ran straight into 2 fanatics and took another 5 damage. So they're now fleeing. That's, I think, about it of any real note. So a little bit better turn for the Empire, trying to put a fight up, but they are still heavily outnumbered into Goblin 3. Okay, so end of Goblin turn 3. Main note is that this unit of Goblins failed their terror check and ran away from the Griffin, and then subsequently the great swords went into the flank, managed to do enough casualties to force the Goblins to flee and run them down. And then, just as a reminder, the wizard over here has turned into a squig by miscasting. And then that is it for Goblin turn 3. Into Empire 4, and this is a state of play. We've had a misfire on the cannon. The bright wizard managed to get a spell off and kill. Oh no, that was the cannon, so yes, magic was still totally ineffective. Cannon managed to kill another 3 Night Goblins, and that's it so far. So the remaining shooting of the Empire turn, the crossbowmen and the archers both managed to pepper enough of the Night Goblins that were here to force them to, they're already running anyway, but they now cannot rally as they've lost too many of their force. The Empire Griffin rider, he basically went into the back of the Goblin Warlords unit and did 3 wounds with the help of the Sign of a Maul, and then the Griffin managed to kill another 2 with the 3rd reroll, meaning the Goblins needed, I think, a double 1. They failed to get it and got run down by the Empire General on Griffin. So that is pretty much where we're at. So it's now Goblin turn 4, and that's the state of the battlefield. So the mid-centre has basically fanatics still running around. I think we've got 3, still got 7 fanatics and a squig on the table. So there we go. So with no magic phase, due to the only wizard left on the board is a squig. Oh, actually, he didn't roll a dice. Roll a dice. So on a 6, he's not a squig anymore.
Oh yeah.
No, he's still a squig. So the goblins charged in with the fanatic thankfully moving off in a different direction, and yeah, drawn combat. Empire did manage to kill a few extra, but they were outnumbered, and goblins had an extra rank, which made the difference. Over here, the Wolf Riders moved up towards the archers in the wood, managed to pick one off with the short bow, and both catapults failed to hit their target. So, Empire turn 5. Okay, so having played through the last round or so, the Goblin General has decided to call it a day. Obviously I had a turn of shooting with a cannon and the archers at the Wolf Riders. The Griffin Rider would have flown back across, ensuring that unit there would have had to do a leadership 5 terror check at the start of the turn or flee, which probably would have let them go. The battle in the top left hand corner could have gone either way. The Empire forces would have still been at -2 for being outnumbered and a rank. However, 10 guys hitting on 3s, probably better than the 10 hitting on 4s, with a better save, etc. So it could have gone either way, but effectively the general's decided enough's enough. He's got no magic phase. The only caster he's got is currently a squig. So the rest of the goblins have fled away in true goblin fashion. So victory to the Empire for this one. And thanks to Henry, my son, for taking part. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll hope to post some more videos for you. Right, so there we have it. The dust has settled on the battlefield, and all that can be heard is the bouncing of a former wizard or shaman, who's still currently a squig, and probably will be by the next time we play. Bouncing off into the sunset, followed by a doom diver, a catapult, and what is really going to be probably what's left of 10 Wolf Riders and a couple of units of well, probably about 40 of the Night Goblins. The rest of them all scattered across the battlefield, dying, but the Empire did suffer heavy losses. In particular, the Knights still can't deal with the sheer amount of fanatics my lad keeps bringing. However, as I say, holding back, trying to force those fanatics out early, getting some shots in, weathering the storm of magic, and yeah, it was touch and go probably for the first 3 turns, and then there was that turning point in Empire 3, I think, where things started to turn around as the Empire General managed to get in with his Griffin and deal with the low leadership of the Goblins. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.